Hi neighbors, welcome to the March 2023 How's the Market update. This month we're going to look at this local Birmingham and Homewood market and how it compares to the national narrative in the real estate economy. So let's go ahead and dig in. We are seeing a steady increase in number of listings on the market. In Birmingham, we currently have 606 single-family homes for sale. That is a 69% increase from the same time last year. In Homewood, we have a 33% increase in number of listings. We're also seeing a decrease in number of sales. So in the city of Birmingham, we have a 20% decrease year over year right now in number of sales. City of Homewood, a 15% decrease year over year. We have an average sales price in Birmingham of $267,000. That's an 8% increase year over year. And in Homewood, average sales price is $549,000. That's a 4.5% increase from the same time last year. Our average sales price in Birmingham is 98% of the average list price, and it's about the same number in the city of Homewood. So on average, we're seeing sellers get about 98% of their list price, and that's a very different story than what we've seen over the past few years, where the average sales price to list price was 100% or more. We are also seeing average days on market and median days on market steadily trend upward. City of Birmingham, the average days on market right now for sold single family homes is 36, and in the city of Homewood it's 30 days. And then city of Birmingham, we're currently looking at 3.2 months of inventory. That is, if no more homes came on the market today, based on the rate at which buyers are buying homes, how many more months of homes do we have on the market? We have 3.2 months of inventory in Birmingham, and we have a low number of 1.2 months of inventory in Homewood. So city of Birmingham, we're not really able to break past the 3.5, 4 months of inventory point, which is necessary to get back to a balanced market. So that's the story here in Birmingham. Inventory is increasing year over year. And I also want to look at, moving on to the big picture nationally, the number of homes for sale is increasing every year, but it's still 47% lower than what it was before the pandemic. And so while comparing to last year and the year before is worthwhile, really everything changed, when COVID and the economic shutdown happened. And so looking at total listing count in the US, you can see March 2020 that is really when the shift happened in terms of number of listings coming on the market began to steadily decrease. And so while right now we are seeing an increase of listings year over year, once you look back over the last 5 years, you can see the gap there and the amount of inventory that we need to make up because of how much we've missed over the last couple of years. And then lastly, looking at number of single family housing units completed, new construction homes, we are 14 years in a row below the 52-year average. So that's a lot of inventory, new inventory that has been brought to the market in the past that's been missing over the last 14 years. So you can see that there's a big discrepancy, a big gap that still needs to be filled. And really until that inventory hits the market again, it's going to keep upward pressure on prices. And so that's why we're still continuing to see increase in average sales price and continued appreciation, specifically here in Birmingham, despite the volatility of buyer demand and interest rates. We're seeing continued steady appreciation because of that upward pressure, because of low inventory and low number of listings. So really until that changes, we're probably going to see a very stable, unless that changes, we're going to see a very stable continued amount of appreciation, even despite some buyer pullback because of these interest rates. And then I'll also just highlight the fact that as the market is changing so on a month-to-month basis, every local market is going to be different. So here in Birmingham, our downtown loft and condo market is different than in Southside, is different than in Highland Park and Forest Park, completely different than what's going on in Mountain Brook, Homewood, Vestavia. These are all different markets with different unique dynamics, and they're each experiencing these market changes in different ways. So the national headlines are relevant and helpful, but at the end of the day, real estate is such a local asset class that you need to know what's going on in your particular market, because specifically here in Birmingham, we have so many different unique niches with so many different demographics, so many different um, groups of homeowners and home buyers, that our neighborhoods are experiencing the market change in very different ways. So make sure you're consulting with someone who is an expert locally when you have questions about what's going on in your real estate market. And I rarely touch on the value of home ownership. A current question right now with interest rates touching 7% and a little bit above recently, is it a good time to buy? And I rarely get into that because I feel like so much of you all out there who listen to me talk understand the value of home ownership and investing in real estate. But I will just take a second to touch on what uh, median asking rent has done since 1988. A quick image of what happens and will continue to happen with rent. It is going to always continually go up, and it's been dramatically going up, and that's going to continue to be the case. And when you are the owner of the house that you live in, your housing payment is locked in, and you're going to get out of this steady increase of your housing expense when you lock in the price of owning your home. So it's kind of a no-brainer, but I don't want to assume that across the board, because it's always a good move to lock in your housing payment, because the opposite end of the spectrum is to face steadily increasing rent. So I hope that's helpful. We're just seeing slowly but surely more buyers wield a little bit more authority in the real estate transaction. Again, 98% is the average sales price to list price. So more buyers are able to negotiate a little bit more relative to sellers, because sellers are catering a little bit more to buyers and being willing to give some concessions, negotiate on price potentially. And I'm telling my sellers right now that over the past 3-4 years, if you didn't sell your house in the first weekend it was on the market, that meant I did my job wrong. Something was off. Because if you didn't sell in the first weekend, something was wrong. Now, kind of giving some expectations up front that we may be on the market for a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, and it does not mean that we chose the wrong list price. We need to have confidence in the surrounding area, what the market is doing in our neighborhood, because the selling experience may be different than what it's been over the past 2 to 3 years. And it may take you 2, if not 3 weeks, to get the right price for your home. So you need to be confident in what the new market is done in your local area. I hope that's helpful. If y'all have any questions at all about the market here in Birmingham, please let me know. I appreciate you listening, and we'll talk again next week.